Okay. Anyways, well, we need one. I'm not gonna say we don't. I'm just saying we're about to start up every day at 5 or every Friday, 5 o'clock PT time here at the BearThoughts channel. You know, nothing new here. Trying to be bitchy and everything. Come on.
If I see her hand come across that screen and you stop talking, I'm just gonna keep talking because I didn't see shit.
It's not spousal abuse. It's just
completely good on both.
it's opposite pegging day, apparently.
Listen, I am fine. I'm on loving one side.
No matter what, right?
You're
Yeah.
on the smart side.
There you go.
History will show. Yeah, when Victor is on her, history only shows the victor, right? And Victor's always right. When she beats the shit out of me, she's right.
I wouldn't do it on camera.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Wait till tonight. All right, anyways. Hello, everybody. I hope you're having a good day. Hope you're having a good night. I always hope you have a good life. I hope you're going to be joining us in the chat. And as always, we got the illustrious Corvo Ninja with us.
What's up, everybody?
And we have the, partially dissident body south there, Jade. There's a hand there.
Whoa, where's that hand going?
Let's say, give it a second. You might see some creepy eyes just show up out of nowhere.
Oh, dude, what a day.
What a week. But yes, I am feeling better for everybody who's not knowing. I've already started streaming. I started streaming up last week with little energy, but I managed to push it through. And I got some story to tell myself, and I would love anybody out there that has any knowledge of the topic pieces we're going to be talking about. Be sure to join in. Leave down comments below. We'd love to hear your thoughts and your opinions. But before that, I want to jump straight into the Verizon. And real quick though, I've heard Verizon has now bought out Ryan Reynolds' phone company for like over $1 billion.
Yes, Ryan is sitting tight right now.
Like, a lot of people are not happy with him either, because like that was like the opposite. Like, hey, we don't want to be in a phone plan, and the one phone company they decided to go for is Verizon. Like, we kind of want to be part of a plan. We kind of want to be like a monthly subscription. Like I got Cricket. So I hope they don't sell out anytime soon.
I don't have a plan either. Mine's a prepaid.
Prepaid?
Deal, so,
okay, gotcha. Yeah. But yeah, billion. I wish I had that kind of money. Some people say, well, that's money for the future kids. It's like, that's not money just for future kids. That's money for future generations. That's
wait, hold up. You spend it wisely.
Yeah. If you spend it wisely and maybe have like a stealthy have Jade or something like that to keep track of your money.
Yeah.
It's very weird for him right now.
Sub-Zero, our littlest one. He got straight A's and he won a mathlete award and stuff like that. And
by the way, that rigged as fuck.
We decided.
We will discuss that later.
We decided that we would allow him to have his first cell phone.
Okay. Real quick, I'm not sure people might ask this. You don't need to give the age, but what exactly would he do with a phone at his age?
Okay, so mainly it is for emergency contacts. So like, let's say.
Top of that.
Let's say this has happened before with his older brher. Whereas dropped off the bus early, nobody knows, or their school's getting let out early because of storm or whatever, nobody knows. So it's that kind of situation. Also, when at a park, I can track the phone. So if he gets separated, like has happened before, I can find him without feeling like I need to get an AK out and run everybody out of the park to find the child.
Because some people always say, like, kids at a certain age, they just don't need a phone. Like, we didn't have a phone when we were kids. But then again, we were in a society where I guess it was still relatively easy.
It's about how you use the phone. So, like, for instance, I don't expect him to have that phone every minute of the day here at the house. I don't expect that he's going to have that phone every minute of the day when he's out of the house. But when he's out of my sight, or can potentially be out of my sight, it is a good tool for him to either be able to emergency contact me or me to find him.
Is he
That's
studying
what I'm
it?
using it.
Is he learning it?
He is actually in his room right now trying to figure out how everything works. He's made a couple of calls. He's had a couple of calls. We've already put in most of the emergency contacts in there so that he can, get a hold of that kind of stuff. We're hoping that between now and the June trip, he's going to get pretty good with it so that when we're on the June trip, he can have it with him in case events that happened before were to repeat themselves.
Yeah.
It's not so much as about, I just want my kid to have a phone to play with and suck all his time out. It's more like he's going to have it with him when I deem the fact that I might need to find him or he needs to find me and we might be separated.
It's kind of like hey, here's everybody's walkie-talkies. Contact each other when you need to. You're on a trip now. It's like, all right, here's your phone, here's your phone, here's your phone. And when you're done with it, when we're back at home, give me your phones back.
Right. So the only reason he has it now is because he just got it. I'm trying to let him figure out how it works. And then I'm going to get him on a regiment where every afternoon it comes to either me or his mom. Every morning he gets it, goes to school. Get him in the regiment, and then when we're driving down, like on a vacation, he can have it then if he wants to play a couple of games, keep him occupied, or when we're at the park itself and we might get separated, I can find him. But that's the plan right now. But the story goes like this. We go in, and the guy gets the SIM out because he's inheriting Stealthy's old phone because Stealthy got her new one.
Yeah, okay.
Puts it in. We pay to add it to the prepaid family plan we have. And we're getting ready to leave, right? And we realize, wait a minute, his phone is not making a call and it won't text.
Okay.
So I go back in the store and I'm talking to the guy, and the guy's like, well, here's your receipt where you paid. I don't know what's going on. So he goes over and calls the prepaid division and gets them on the phone. And I'm talking to this lady, and he's standing there next to me, and she goes, oh, well, we applied that money to the primary phone. I'm like, how the hell do you apply the primary phone the money when we were in the new line for the new phone when we made the purchase? It's like we weren't even on that line at all.
Yeah, like the serial number and everything should have been opposite.
The dude looks at me without missing the beat with the corporate people on the phone and goes, I hate working with dumbasses. And she's like, excuse me, sir, what'd you say? He's like, nothing. He's like, just can we move the funds? She's like, yeah, I just need him to give me the admin code for his account, and I'll move the funds from the primary phone to the phone that it needs to be on. So I give her the code. She kicks it over. Phone activates. It's all good. We hang up the phone, and he looks at me and goes, I'm supposed to charge you an activation fee, but fuck that. I'm like, what? And he's like, yeah. I'm not charging you damn activation fee when they can't even put the money in the right fucking place. Hell, I might charge you an activation fee that may go to Billy Bob over there in the corner. I was like, what the fuck? I mean, this dude is visibly angry. Like, you could tell this is some shit that he deals with on a daily basis, and he is not happy. He's like, I cannot believe this shit.
Yeah, I've heard that the whole working industry is getting worse and worse and worse, and people getting more and more lazy and more incompliant and unable to stay focused to do something even partially right. And that's just proof in the pudding. It shouldn't be that hard if you're having the IP address of the phone, the SIM card number, and all. It's like it's a totally different phone. You put the money on this thing. All right. What you do? You put it on a entirely different thing. You had to actively seek out the other information of the other phone, the primary phone, and then put money onto it.
That was his entire point.
It's like,
he's like, that somebody worked really hard to fuck this up.
Yeah, it's
Because this is that you had to leave the account that we applied the phone that we were working with, go to another line on this account and physically apply it there. Like, you had to leave what you were working on. How the hell does it make sense to leave what you're working on?
somebody wasn't paying attention.
Like, man, I'm playing Hogwarts Legacy. I'm gonna work on this spell, but let me go to Genshin real quick and do my. What the? You had to fucking log out.
You'd intentionally leave, but yeah, people are just like so easy distracted. They just can't focus. Like the person was like halfway in the phone call, going, "Put money on phone, okay? Account, all right. What phone was it again? Ah, shit. Let's go to a new one." It's all the same place. It's going to the same people, right? Sure, it's not. It's just so easily, and I get it, right? I worked in the industry, and anytime it's like it's like one of those, what was the thing, like you tell someone a story, and that one person tells the story to another person, and you tell that story to another person. Eventually, somewhere along, information will get fucked up. It's kind of like that. Yep. But this is the quickest way of switching up information I've ever seen. It's just 1, 2, and whoop.
Okay. Now we'll do my other story real quick, then you can do yours. You're gonna love this. So look at this. You see this in my hand? This is PLA, bro.
Yeah, okay.
Watch it.
Is that the new rubberized PLA?
This is the flexible PLA. Okay. This shit is gonna be great for things like phone cases and shit, you know?
Yeah.
But I have discovered the holdback in using this.
It doesn't go through the nozzle very well, right?
You have to have that nozzle perfectly clean inside and out.
Yeah, because I've seen other people, because I couldn't use it on mine because it wasn't PLA, and my old printer needed PLA. And I've always with rubberized one or very flexible ones, it has a hard time pushing it through the nozzle because it's flexing while it's inside there. Even though it's not supposed to be flexing, it's supposed to go straight down. It's definitely moving.
Well, that's not what the problem is with mine. The problem is with mine is there's some debris still in the nozzle. So what happens is it starts out putting out a bead, but you know how a nozzle works, it'll eventually fill up that nozzle, and then the push through it has to push through it.
Yes.
Well, this shit's flexible. There's no rigidity to it, so it's not going to push through the pull.
Yeah.
The pull. So what happens is it gets between those gears that's feeding it, and it just sits there, and it just wads that shit up right there until it can't go no more, and then you hear ka-tunk, 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 and you're like, what the fuck?
I'm sure you ran at a higher heat, so that didn't very much help it either.
This is actually supposed to be ran at a lower bed temp and lower nozzle heat than regular PLA.
Huh, okay.
Because if you run it hotter, it will melt this shit into a pool.
So it would be more of a liquid than an actual,
I love the fact
semi-solid. Okay, so little sidebar here. My wife found out a couple weeks ago that there's a new PLA printable stuff that's supposed to be moldable, where like people are for cosplay are gonna be able to, like, once they have it printed out, they're able to mold it, and it's easier to sand, which sounds really good if you're a cosplayer, because sanding on normal PLA is hell.
The problem though with PLA doing that is the fact that if there's not a way to get it cured once you get it to the point.
She's saying you can mold it however you want to. That's great, and molding it is great for sanding it. But because it's moldable, what happens if something hits it and bends it out of shape?
Wow.
So is there a way to like lock that structure once you're done processing it so it can't flex?
I don't know, but I just had to see it and see how it works. But my wife was looking at a cosplayer that was making weapons out of it, and they were having a lot easier time filling with it and messing with it and shaping it than just a hardened structure.
I will say this. Watching this thing print, because it did print about halfway through a rim. Okay. Watching it print, it lays a beautiful bead.
Yeah.
And it's smooth and it is beautiful, and that shit will peel right the fuck off with no problems. The only thing I have problem with is the nozzle. So my goal one day this weekend is to take my nozzle off, clean the ever-loving snot out of it, and try to get this shit to run, because if I can get it to run, I'm going to print a few phone cases like for Sub-Zero, for Crimson, for Stealthy, because they all need phone cases. Hell, I need one for my work phone. And that's why I bought the roll. But I was like taken back. I mean, I knew it was supposed to be flexible.
Yeah.
But because I hadn't touched any, I didn't realize it was going to be like a limp fucking noodle just flopping around. You know? I'm like, Jesus, this shit
This is
really
PLA hybrid mix? It has to be a hybrid mix of some sort.
It's called FPLA for flexible PLA. You run it, the burn temp on the nozzle is 200.
Okay, that's definitely lower.
The bed is at 40.
Bed's at 40? Okay, because I remember it's usually around, for me, it's either 250 to 270, and then the bed was around 50 or 60, maybe 70.
My normal PLA for mine runs at 225. That's with the stuff I got from that shop I showed you.
Yeah.
When I did the video, it burns really good at 225, and the bed usually has to be between 58 to 62, and it will stick and it'll be good. And I got the flexible bed finally on that thing, so
nice.
It works great, popping them off.
Oh, I love that.
So that I can run normal PLA like a champ right now. I just got to figure out how to do this whole flexible thing. So
yeah,
it's gonna be a challenge.
If you can get it to print and get it to work, let me know, because I'm sure it's probably good for some molds too. I don't know if if you're not a mold person, but if you need to do a mold for something,
I want you to think about this. We both like to make masks, right? Imagine making your mask out of the flexible, and how much easier it'd be to put a strap on, and when it pulls it back, it actually.
Oh yeah,
like you know what I'm saying? It actually fit.
I would like to have the hollow mask and have the jaw be hingeable, so when you the mask actually separated with it. That would be great.
And that's the thing. If you make this slit right, and you make a way where your chin's actually moving it, it probably will move, because, like I said, this shit's. Crazy flexible, bro.
Well, since this is black, you probably, even any other color. Would you need like flexible paint? Do they even have flexible paint?
I think so.
I would imagine they would have to.
I think they have a flexible paint. But the thing is you can get this shit in just about any color. Like you said, the hollow mask, you probably get flexible white. And the only thing you're really having to paint is the red.
Yeah, and the red's normally up here anyway, so you don't need to worry about stretching that unless you have
right,
crazy eyebrows. Oh, all right. Well, that's pretty cool. I like that. I know that has some flexible resin, and I want to try that someday, but that's a later thing. I'd like to do that with maybe with a video. But let's get into my topic. And I talked about a little bit this during my stream, and I talked about it here on the podcast. So I tried to go get my taxes done for my YouTube, my Twitch channel, because y'all know I'm now sponsored by people. I make money. So that money that I buy toward giveaways and camera and lights and anything else on my stream are getting taxed. I get taxed just by Twitch, just by getting paid. They take out a large sum of it from me for taxes, and then they get the rest of it, and I get a small portion of it. So I want to start getting taxes on this thing. Well, I go call up my tax reform people. It's like, yeah, you need a business account. I need to show up all transactions that must be all been done for your business account, because we have no way of knowing what's business account and what was pleasure. I'm like, okay, I'll go get a business account. Didn't really think it would be that hard. Well, I go to the bank, and immediately I found out the hard way. It was not that easy to just go and just get one. I thought it was just like, hey, I have a business. I've been doing it for a long time. I get a business account. But that's not okay. I'm all right with that. LLCs and other bunch of things. So we're trying to figure out what exactly do I categorize under, because they don't quite know themselves what I categorize under. So they asked me well, you probably need a lawyer, you need a tax person, and you need what was the third one? Do you remember what the third one was? Lawyer, tax, and a consultant or something like that. I'm like, well, okay, we don't have tax, we don't have lawyer money, so that's not the question. We don't got lawyer money. We don't got that kind of like get their advice or opinions. We've already asked a tax person, but they just said get a business account. Didn't very much go very far on that one. And a consultant, I'm not really there. And my wife brings up the idea of getting an LLC, which I'm sure you and everybody else knows what LLC is. Right?
Yeah.
Which in our state we have to pay for. So that's fun. So I'm like, why would y'all need a license to be a streamer? That sounds stupid. Like, if you imagine if you need a license to be a streamer, wait, you want to be a streamer? Get a license, LLC, $200, please. I'm like, no, I don't need a license to be a streamer. I'm not really selling anything myself. I'm selling myself, of course, but my merchandise go through another company. So I'm like, we could do that. So eventually the guy that we're working with is getting maybe a little annoyed that he's not very much able to help me out, or getting annoyed that I'm bothering him on his precious time of not doing anything, because that bank was practically empty when we went there. And she goes gets this other woman, and he's like, okay, try to explain to her what you do. So I go ahead and explain to her what I do. In the most plainest of terms, unlike your little test you took, that anybody could understand. I'm an entertainer. I stream on Twitch. I play video games and other things, entertaining people, make them laugh, and talk about topics that I may not want to or should be talking about in the first place. So she's like, okay, how many subscribers or followers you got? And I said, around 600. She went, that's nice. I'm like, this woman is being snarky with me. I'm like, okay. I have around one of my videos have around 15,000 views on it. She went, that's nice. I'm like, I'm like,
dude.
I even have sponsors like, oh, that's nice. I'm like, what is this woman? And she's like, well, you probably need to go talk to a lawyer and go talk to a tax informed person and get your information and come back. And, we don't want you to get the wrong information and get in trouble. I'm like, what am I in trouble for? I'm a streamer. I'm not going to do anything illegal. I'm going to just talk. What exactly am I getting in trouble for? Who's gonna sue me? I said something you didn't like. Good luck with that. I'm not worth that much just yet. She said, well, you probably should come back later when you have a little more growth. I'm like, this bitch. I'm like, motherfucker. I just want a business account.
I don't know how it works where you're at. Okay, I know how it works where I'm at. You do realize unless you break a certain benchmark of profit, you don't even have to do taxes on it.
Well, yeah. Apparently, the government can label you as a hobbyist if you don't make a certain amount of money. Which I won't tell you how much I made, but I will say it's over 1,000. So I don't really know that's it's close to a very half that, but or a little more than half that. But yeah.
Under $5,000, technically you don't have to report.
Yeah, here where we at, if you make under $5,000, it doesn't even have to be reported.
Yeah, I just want like things that I buy to be like, that's some free money the government's getting from all my taxes from buying all these things. Like giveaways, apparently taxable. I didn't know that. Video games for my personal use are not taxable. That's a little weird, but okay. I'm cool with that. My internet, I can tax that. This room I'm in, I can tax that. Like anything I use for my business streaming, I can tax. And that's all money. The government's going, yes, please. And I'm going, can I have it back? They're like, no, you don't make enough. But
right until you break that barrier and shit, that's how that's gonna work. I only know this because I had an aunt that run a business out of the back of her house. And as long as you stay below that benchmark, that 5K, you're shit out of luck. I mean, it's good for you in the aspect that you don't have to report taxes and go through all that shit.
Yeah.
But it's bad from you from the aspect that anything that you buy for that business is not taxable.
But it's still taxed.
Well, it's taxed because you purchased it. Right. But you can't report it on your taxes to get that money back because you didn't break the benchmark.
Yeah. And I think that's kind of ridiculous. It's like they're gonna immediately label you because you're gonna make a certain amount of money. And my wife was telling me like, well, it depends on how much money you make and how much money you spent. It's like me, I do spend my money that I get from Twitch and from YouTube or anything else I might make money. I don't make no money from YouTube. But if I were to, I would just take that money and like Mr. Beast turn around and put that money back into my business. But I don't put all the money into my business. I use some of it for my personal, personal enjoyment as well. So my thought is, if I take this serious and I'm making money from it, in my opinion, but of course it's not really, it doesn't matter what my opinion is. If I'm making money from it and I'm using it for my business, or they call it a hobby, I should be able to call it as what I feel it is. But I don't spend more money than I make. I just spend what I think I should to improve or to make better or give back to the community, because I think that's what a good person should do, is to give back to people that are improve things for people that are doing good things for you. And I get it, right? If you don't make a certain amount of money, I just feel like me, I feel like I'm past that threshold, but I'm probably not at all. I'm just saying, if I would open a business account and I say, hey, I'm making money, then let me do that. And the government says later on, hey, you don't make enough money, at least let me open a business account.
The deer.
The deer?
You said money and reminded me I needed to give some to my wife that was given to me.
Oh, yeah. Okay, gotcha. Get some deer jerky?
No, for...
Sort of. We'll say it.
We'll
explain later.
It's my hobby that I'm making money off of occasionally.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Well, yeah. So, guess people say, I'm not, we don't know yet, but right now we're assuming the government's going to call me officially a hobbyist. So I guess I could say I'm doing Twitch streaming as a hobby, even though I'm making
I got a question.
Closer to $2,000, but I won't tell everybody how much.
I got a question.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't make past a certain amount of money doing what you do,
mm-hmm.
you're labeled a hobbyist.
Yes.
So if I make under that benchmark in a red light area, am I a hobbyist?
Yes, by government standards, yes.
Baby, I'm a hobbyist.
If you're in a red light district and buy clothes and underwear and other things to protect yourself and you don't make a certain amount of money, you're a hobbyist.
Shit.
So I guess
Baby, we gotta return that thong. I can't claim it on taxes.
You're not the one working the red light district, no way.
Women always want us working the corner when we want something. I want this. Go work that corner, honey. So yeah, that was a lot of fun getting snarky. And the best part, to top the cake off, on the way out the door.
Come back when you have some growth.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. On the to top this off, on the way out the door, these people, just like the person on the phone, didn't have the common sense to wait to earshot to the people who are gone. So my wife's a little bit of a fucking hound dog, and me, I was keeping myself calm because I don't get angry. On the way out the door, trying to distract myself. My wife hears them on the way out, and the woman decides to say in earshot, "Don't you love when people come in here ear repaired?" What the hell are you doing, bitch? What else? You're sitting on your fucking hands all day. You're supposed to inform people. That's your job.
And you're ill prepared.
It's not like I come in here with like a lawyer and a tax attorney and I like the crew behind me. I
would have gotten so much trouble because if I'd have heard her say that shit, I'd have turned around and said, "Don't you love it when you come to a business and they're all ill repaired for your business?"
Yeah, it's like, how much money do you want me to make? Like, you want me to make a $500,000 or $1 million subscriber channel before you take me serious? What if, I'm just saying, people always say what isms, whatever. But what if that person comes to the channel, anybody, come in there, small channel, not very big, and a few months later, they blow the fuck up. You just lost their business. You lost their money. Because if I were to blow up tomorrow, you best believe I'm not going to my bank going, yes, I like to do business now. No, I'm going to go fuck you. Because that's bad business. Wait till at least I'm out of earshot. before you start talking smack, of course, don't talk smack in front of my face either. You know, I wait for a little bit more growth. You know how many years I've been trying? So if you hit the subscribe button, hit the like button down there, give them the middle finger. Do that for me now.
Hey, no, seriously, this is what's going on. A, she needs customer service training. She needs to go back.
Mm-hmm.
Or something. Or she sucks.
That's nice. That's nice.
She's probably used to influencers, no offense, who have about the same amount of, views as your, and subscribers to their Instagram, okay?
Yeah.
So they're used to that kind of deal, but they don't think, hey, he's actually just asking questions. He's trying to make sure he's doing shit right by the books. She's thinking you're this entitled little influencer. No, number one thing that they tell us in the customer service class that I had, which I find ironic because it's something that should be common fucking knowledge at this point, is never judge a book by cover. Listen to what the customer is asking, what they're saying, before, even though you might think you know what they're saying, before you respond, because you may not be exactly what you think.
Of course, my brain is thinking, like, if I had to describe to you what my job is, that would immediately make me think that you don't know what I'm talking about either. It's like you're judging the book by description. If I say I'm a Twitch streamer, you should know what that is. Like, you should be informed of that.
Well, even if she doesn't know what it is, if she had asked you, she would have been more informed. Instead, she decided to be a little fucking prick. If you know what I mean. Yeah,
she took it to she was trying to be well-mannered, but she took it to the extreme of...
No, she wasn't. She was not being well-mannered, because by making her faces and her structured remarks, that's not well-mannered. That's not good customer service.
That's nice. You should come back when you have some more growth.
Yeah, it's like, oh my God.
No. Had I done that, I'd have got fired.
That was a undercut right there. It's like, you didn't need to finish it up with that one part right there. You should have just let that out of your, it should have been inner thought. Like, you should come back when you had a little more growth, but you're not, let that in here. But she let that shit slip. And I'm like, you think I didn't catch that? That was supposed to be a nice comment or a mean comment? And guess what? I'm taking it as the latter here. Mean.
When we're on calls, for example, and we have comments to make about a certain person that's called or something, we wait until that fucking call is over. And we are sure that there's no way they can hear us before we make our comments.
Yeah.
And even we can be sympathetic, because sometimes we go like, maybe they just didn't know no better. We will discuss it, but we will be saying maybe they didn't know no better. And they're like, okay, so what can we do next time if they ever call back? We go through that. She had no fucking sympathy or empathy. Fuck her.
Nah, she was mostly just looking for a big channel with a lot of money to be throwing around some way, as if I'm there to try to make a statement. I'm just there to...
Big account I landed today. He's got $1 million. Yeah, he's got 20,000 viewers.
Yeah, I'm just trying to, even if I was brand new yesterday and I'm trying to get my channel off the ground and growing, which I still am, but she don't know that. I didn't very much tell her where I stand in my profit gain or anything like that. I just told her that how many followers I had, how many views I had, and so on. So she really had no clue where my money was, even if it's a small channel, because I know small channels that make a shit ton of money. But she immediately just goes, well, if you make a shit ton of money, you should have a lawyer and all this other stuff. I'm like, some people they'd rather just go and get information straight from the source. You should be informed what a entertainer is in that category and go, okay, you're that, then you need to get this license, not let a lawyer and attack the person and insult them. I'm like, that's too many steps. I don't think I should have to go through that many people to get my information. And then she's like, well, you get this very, very basic one, which was pretty much, I don't know what it was, status, had it on my jacket, but it's like, all you need is pretty much proof that you have the channel and you have your own rights to your own channel and your name and address. I'm like, I could have started that one, but I don't know if that's my correct one. I don't want to start something that's not correct. I want you to inform me. I'm not here to try to get in trouble because I had to put myself underneath the right bracket. But I don't know. it was not very comfortable, not very easy. And if we ever do get our own merchandise stuff set up, we'll probably get LLC anyways, just so we can say anytime I want to start a business, a fart in a jar, I can because I have an LLC. Gamer farts. That's my brand. I don't know. I'll figure it out.
Hey, we could do a class for me and call it the horror farts.
So, for example, this is in a sense a call. We got somebody calling in about a job.
Mm-hmm.
Wanted to know if we had gotten their application and stuff. But the way the person went about it, okay? The way this person went about doing this was entertaining, to say in the least, okay? He goes, look, this is how the phone call starts, right? Obviously, it's not going to be verbatim. This is mostly memory.
Yeah.
Hey, look, I'm going to have to, obviously, exclude certain things being said.
Yeah. Just elaborate.
The guy goes, hey, I'm glad that you answered this call because I know you're the person I need to talk to right now. You know what I mean? Because I need you to tell me exactly what I need to know, if you know what I mean. Because I put in an application recently, and I just need to know whether or not it's been seen or anything like that, if you know what I mean. Because I need to talk to those hiring managers or at least somebody in HR or something, if you know what I mean. Because I know you know what I mean.
You know what I mean?
At this point, I am freaking like, I'm looking at my phone going, the fuck?
My brain immediately went with like, I'm customer service. I am not supposed to be snarky.
No, I wasn't fucking shocked. I'm just sitting there going like,
I'm sorry. I'm like, hello, I'm the manager. Based on your conversation right now, I cannot hire you because your educational background, if you know what I mean, because your way of talking right now, if you know what I mean, is a little bit under par for our standards, if you know what I mean. And we cannot accept stupid, uninformed people, if you know what I mean. Goodbye, if you know what I mean.
If you don't mind, sir, thank you, but give me a moment. I'll see if I can help you. Okay, thanks, if you know what I mean. And I put him on hold.
You still say thanks, you know what I mean, after you said
It gets worse. It gets worse. At that point, I hear from behind me in the other cubicle, one of my coworkers goes, if you know what I mean. And the whole top floor starts busting out laughing. And I'm like, okay, y'all need to stop laughing because I still have to get back on this call with this man. I need to figure out what we need to do. I did not say that I was being nice.
Yeah, you were being the correct businesswoman you should be. Yeah.
So they're like, okay, well, they can possibly talk to HR, but I don't know if they're going to talk to him, considering, you know what I mean, the way he's talking, if you know what I mean. And I'm just like, oh my God, y'all are fucking going to kill this. Y'all be quiet. So I undo it. I'm like, look, I can transfer you over to the HR department, but it's not a guarantee since, they see a lot of applications. So they may not be there. If so, you may need to leave a message. He goes like, well, I was told by so-and-so that they're currently there and that I need to be talking to the hiring managers right now, if you know what I mean. Yes, sir, I do understand, but you need to speak with the HR because they are the ones that are going to put in the application for you to get hired. They have to do all the paperwork. But I'm supposed to be talking to the hiring managers. That's what I was told, if you know what I mean. I understand, sir, but you will still have to talk to them, and you will possibly have to leave them a voicemail, okay?
Like, he's trying to skip the HR part, if you know what I mean. Like, he's trying to skip around that and go straight to the main people, if you know what I mean.
I understand. I get what you mean.
And I'm
like, okay, good. So I'm going to transfer you over. So I transfer him over. He calls back.
You know what I mean?
2 hours later to that person that's laughing their butt off originally about this shit and goes, hey, I was just talking to somebody else, if you know what I mean. They told me that I need to talk to the HR, but they didn't answer the call, so I left the voicemail. But the person that told me to call in told me that the hiring managers are there, if you know what I mean. So I need to talk to him, if you know what I mean. I'm just like, holy shit. And and without missing a beat, and I give her credit, she goes, well, sir, unfortunately for you, they would have to still go through the paperwork because they have to go through HR in order to do that. Leave them a message, but they have to go through that. You cannot just go through the hiring managers. It does not work like that here. Thank you. And he goes, okay, fine, I will go leave them another voicemail. You know. And she transfers them over, and she's like, that's probably why so-and-so is not giving him the job, if you know what I mean. I'm like, oh my God.
Now, it gets
You know what I mean, obviously, because if you were, you wouldn't be going like, oh my God. You'd be like, you know what I mean? I'm just like,
it gets worse because upon yours truly hearing about this phone call, I have harassed her coworkers every morning at the time clock. They go in there to go to the time clock. I said, I look at them. I go like, you need to clock in. You know what I mean? So you can get upstairs and make that money. You know what I mean? And she's like, you know what I mean? I'm trying to get this clock to work. You know what I mean? But it's being slow. You know what I mean?
I talked to the HR manager later about it. He's like, I ain't got no phone. I got no voicemail, no phone call, or nothing like that. I'm like, oh well, if you know what I mean, that's what it's gonna be. And he goes like, well, you know what I mean. Whenever you walk by and I say, you know what I mean, now don't you? And we're like, oh my God.
I knew a guy that said I could know all the time. Like that was his mannerism. Like he always finished a sentence off or you know, say someone to them when they were like, hey, I know or I understand. He was I could know. It was always confusing, like how he said it. But how do you get a mannerism like that where you constantly saying, if you know what I mean, and not be questioning what is processing, where you think that is a common nature or common word or sentence to say, ending and everything, just ending, beginning, does not matter. You can fit it in.
No, but honestly, I think that if he was applying to a job that doesn't require him really to talk to people, it should be fine. Like, but especially since it wasn't in the department that we were working at, so it should be okay, if you know what I mean.
You really had to stick that in there, didn't you?
No,
it's fitting,
I was literally asking, you know, hey, you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, you don't need to talk, but it would definitely help if it does not give you a sense of this person is competent.
It was as the lady that was started laughing about it. She's like, honestly, it's not very professional, which is why I think he hasn't gotten a job yet. I'm just thinking you could just tell him that, or I could have told him that.
Here's my problem now.
But
I can't say that phrase anymore without instantly about peeing myself. If you know what I mean.
It's worse though, because he goes to the because I told him information about this shit, and he goes, I think I know exactly who they were referencing to, and now I'm not gonna let them alone. And so he goes over to that person, goes like, hey, you know, I think you were trying to get your buddy hired out here, if you know what I mean. And he just froze and looked at him and was like, no. He's like, yeah, you know what I mean.
You know what I mean?
He's like,
man.
He's like, you need to go to hell on. I'm like, I'll message you when I'm back at my desk, if you know what I mean. He's like, fuck you. And I got right back to my desk and sent a GIF that goes, if you know what I mean.
But I legitimately, I told him this to let the guy know, in a sense, to go like, hey, you need to cut that out if you want to do what you want to do. So
yeah, the guy can be super intelligent. I'm just saying, talking like that does not expire someone else to think that you have what it takes to do a lot of jobs.
Which is why I was like,
if
I at least tell this one who thinks he knows who I'm referring to, maybe he can get the message to him, go like, hey, you need to nix that if you want to get this job.
I've heard people in the past. I had a friend of mine and told me that literally at one of his jobs, he changed his entire vernacular just to get the job. Like, he wouldn't think he was a guy that had a little bit of a street in his blood, you might say. And he went to the job, didn't talk like that, but then he got the job, but then, like, went back home, kept talking the way he usually talked, and it was, like, no difference. It shouldn't be that way. But
that's what I was like, it's just that one phrase. Get him to change that one single phrase.
Yeah, cut that out.
Using, you know what I mean? Every other sentence, because that's what it sounded like, was he was using it every other sentence. I was like, if you can get him to stop that, I think he'd be fine.
Yeah, just go back home and you can start, if you know what I mean, all you want. You could be your meme if you want to, at home.
If you know what I mean. But, like, it just,
can you imagine have sex with him? I'm just saying.
We weren't.
You like that, baby? You know what I mean? I can swirl it. You know what I mean?
We were just making fun of the fact that it was like every other sentence was. You know what I mean? We're just like I can't go through life like that.
No, and
there is no way that there is no way that I can legitimately think of a way to continue to communicate with somebody. And every other sentence I say is, you know what I mean? Because you don't know if somebody actually knows or not.
Yeah, like it'd be more brain power trying to figure out what are they meaning? What are they meaning? What are they trying to tell me here? Is there something behind this? It's like some kind of like hidden code.
In that call, I was like, every time he said, you know what I mean, I just put it in the trash.
So I can figure out. Here's the code. Here's the code. If I give you 3, I know what I means, 2 sentences, and then I know what he means, that means you know what I mean.
And it's almost like since Stealthy was the newer person, I don't know if Stealthy used to the new person in the office, like new as in last person.
Me and the other person are still technically the newest persons because we're gonna be the last ones hired on.
Okay, so I'm like, I'm thinking like he said you were the person he was supposed to talk to, as if like he's already had like the other guy already had a conversation with you and told you when you hear a guy says, if you know what I mean, too often. Just push him ahead, okay? Let's just skip the HR as if that's a good idea for your job.
I'm saying, even if you're new, you're gonna know what I mean.
Yeah.
He even went to that extent. Like he didn't care. He was gonna say it anyway.
Yeah, that doesn't inspire confidence.
My job was to decipher all that shit.
Yeah, that doesn't inspire confidence, and I wouldn't trust anybody that kept saying, if you know what I mean, and maybe able to like allegedly figure out what they're trying to say.
Like after he got through everything and paused, where I could actually kind of put 2 and 2 together, I was like, okay, so he needs to talk to HR, he needs to do this, he needs to do that. And I was able to get back to him, but I had to pause it because I was trying not to like just completely, because I was in shock. I was like legitimately like, the fuck kind of, because it was fast. Like the way I was talking originally, that was how fast he was telling me all this stuff, and I'm just going like, bro, look, I'm Spanish to begin with, and we speak fast. But the amount of you know what I means mixed in with all the other information makes it difficult to decipher. Give me a minute. I'm sorry.
Do you have the source for this guy? I'm sorry. I don't have that kind of common lecture. In order did it come from? What is that? I'm sorry. There's like a whole dictionary for like certain like street talk in Florida. I forget the name of it. I know it was at one time, but it feels like that was a kind of. Yeah, it's like a dictionary for street talk and the source and a book for it. You can actually read up on it, and that kind of, if you know what I mean, feels like there's some kind of code there that I'm just not understanding. Somebody let me know what you think of what it means down below.
Honestly, I think that was
leave a message. You know what I mean?
Honestly, I just think it was him going like, "Hey, do you understand what I'm trying to tell you?" I
wink,
think that
wink,
was legitimately what
wink.
he was saying, but instead of just waiting till the end to say that, he just kept saying.
Like, I'm just gonna wink at you a lot till you catch what I'm trying to say. Can you just give me the job?
And I'm like, I can't confirm shit because every other sentence is like not information.
Just give it to me. All right, well. Let's jump into the last topic of the day, if you know what I mean, so we can wrap this up. All right, so this one actually I want to do something that I want y'all to, because y'all both parents. I think everybody here knows this already. And the common goings of right now. I'm sure y'all might have heard or seen the whole TikTok thing going to the jury or going to Washington to be talked about whether or not TikTok should be allowed or not in America. Now, what is y'all's thoughts on, like, just if you know any information, what is your thoughts about TikTok and what it should be allowed in America? I'll inform everybody else the information that I know.
Nothing.
Nothing.
I haven't heard anything about it.
Okay, so TikTok is TikTok is a you might say a separate what?
We know what TikTok is. We just
Okay, well, TikTok is for anybody out there, adults or otherwise. Kids should know what this is because it's primarily used by kids. It is a short form, usually 10 to 15-second videos of whether it be dancing, some informational things, some comedy things. It's very short, very, very short, right? And you can flip through it for hours watching, you can watch like 20 to 50 videos within half an hour or even less than that. You can blast through videos often. And the more you watch it, the more you're on this device, the more you start recognizing your pattern of things you're interested in and start recommending videos to you, right? Okay, so let's say you watch a lot of horse videos or you watch 1 or 2 horse videos. Well, the more you scroll, the more you start see more and more and more horse videos because, well, you watch 2 of them, that must mean you like that. So you're going to keep on showing you that, even though you watched like 1 or 2 of them. Not very, okay, keep it watching. But like these are short endorphins in your brain of satisfaction of videos, right? It's not really there to engage with you for half or even 10 minutes like a YouTube video. So it's quick and fast, right?
basically just, but a little longer.
Yeah, okay. But a lot of kids are using this. A lot of kids. Now, some adults and other people are starting getting into it, but it's mostly kids. If you take the grand scheme of the entire company, kids are mostly the biggest consumer of this product. Well, a couple months back, they've already found out that this product was not only keeping track and records of people's phones information, right? So information that is private to whoever's using it. It's already been found out that they certain people were using had their phones or information, governmental information was hacked. Bad stuff, right? Not good. And their primary company, their affiliate company or off-brand company of another company it's owned by China, the CCP, right? So people don't really trust China, right? Okay, so kids are using this device, and doctors are finding out that kids are getting shorter and shorter attention spans, and because of that, they're not able to focus as long, and they're also noticing in schooling, kids' grades are dropping a lot. More than any other time in the history. Kids have committed suicide watching these things, doing certain trends, like a choking trend that came on a couple of months ago. There's a choking trend where you choke someone out until they pass out. Not a very good idea because your brain can only do that certain many times before you actually die. And okay, so the government's going, hey, a lot of bad stuff. We're trying to cut this out. And I'm thinking, I wonder if Corvo's kids are going to be on TikTok.
No.
It's one of those things. It's like, if you're a parent and you are not informed in this stuff, you should probably get your kids to stop being on TikTok because it's not really good.
In order for them to get on TikTok or to use TikTok, they would have to have a TikTok account.
Yes. But you don't need a license to be on there.
Is really games.
That's good. But yeah, so, you don't really need a license to be on this device. But yeah, the government's trying to block it and kill it. And in America, it's even banned in China. The place it was made from, it was banned. And what they have like a copy of it in China, but all they shows is educational videos, like STEM videos and rocket videos and science videos and other educational things, while ours is literally showing sometimes inappropriate things.
The way I deal with things like that is one, that the way my network here is set up and the way their phones are set up, they can't access or create any accounts like that without going through me or Stealthy.
Oh, that's cool.
2, I'm not giving them permission to make it to. TikTok account until they're considered legally adults, and at that point, I can't say shit except for not on my network.
Yeah.
3, I don't give them access. Hell, I even monitor their access to Discord.
That's good.
Like, they can only talk to people if I allow it.
Could you actually, like, if they try to say something, you could block it, and if you want to, you can push it forward?
I can block their crap. I got their shit set up. They can't even launch a messaging service on their machines without my password.
Basically, it's if we approve of the person to speak with them, that means that we consider them to be a safe person.
Like, for instance, if it was you,
or like another kid, for example, that's fine.
Like, for instance, let's say Crimson decides he's going to be on his Genshin, and he sees Uncle Grumpy Bear on there, and he needs help with the boss. But it'd be easier to talk to you through Discord. If he tells me that's who he's talking to, I will launch it where he can talk to you and you alone, and I'm fine with that. If it's Sketchy, her sister, I'm fine with that. It's her, me, or the two of them talking to each other because one is in one room, one is in the other. Fine with that. But they cannot just go randomly out there and go, oh, I know this person gave me their channel name. I'm just going to jump in there and have a chat. That shit don't work. It don't fly.
But at the same time, we've also explained to them that there are dangers and what the dangers are. We don't just instantly go like, hey, you can't do this, because if you do that, that just makes them turn around and want to do it again.
And I will say this, for all of my children's trials that they put me through, they are extremely good about understanding danger and recognizing that I'm not bullshitting them when I tell them this could be dangerous. So they will come to me and ask me first. I don't have to go down there and say, what y'all doing? Because first off, they can't do it without me. And second off, they know if they try to do it without me, I got something over here in this screen that's gonna tell me, and then then we're gonna have a whole different conversation.
So y'all are taking a more proactive approach with your kids.
As my oldest has told me, sometimes it is shit to have IT parents for parents.
Yeah, rather than some.
At the same time, he has learned, like, for example, the other day, the little one decided he wasn't gonna like we're calling them back. But we're also big, hey, if something happens and you're not listening to us, it's on you at that point, because we're trying to keep you safe. And the little one almost got hit by a car.
Yeah, that's not very.
Now, when I say that, I'm not saying like we weren't rushing towards them. We were trying to catch up with them. I'd
have got to him if I needed to.
But they had run like a good piece away from us, which is why we were running towards them trying to catch up. And they have been playing back and forth. And the eldest is starting to get a little bit better at paying attention to his surroundings. And he realized there was a car coming really fast around the corner and was about to come into the parking lot. But the little one hadn't noticed it because, again, he's 7. He's still not quite always conscious about things around him. And he went to go run out because the eldest he's like, oh crap, there's a car coming. I'm going to freeze right here. I'm going to back towards the sidewalk. And he realizes, wait, the little one still hasn't stopped because he thinks we're still playing. He runs forward, grabs his brother, and yanks him back just as the car goes by.
Yeah, being a kid, you don't quite know danger or death or anything else like that until you come across it yourself. I get that, and that's very scary. I'm glad that he's safe, but yeah, I'm glad y'all taking a little more parental engagement with your kids. I just feel like a lot of parents, because I remember when I was growing up, my parents, even I'm sure a lot of parents say this to his kids, don't sit in front of the TV for long, you'll rot your brain, right? That was a common lecture. Don't sit in front of the TV or rot your brain or hurt your eyes, right? Nowadays, it's like, here's TikTok, this thing that will keep your attention for like 10 seconds, and then 10 seconds again, then 10 seconds again, then 10 seconds again. I'm like, that's literally rot your dang brain. You can't even focus for 10 seconds.
I took a very proactive stance with the parking lot thing with the oldest, because as sad as it was what we talked about with the Walmart situation, it gave me a teachable moment. I literally walked him up there and showed him, you see this? You see this construction? Do you know why it's up here? Let me explain. And I walked him when we went to Walmart. I walked him the path. I was like, there was someone standing here that will never be standing here ever again.
No, we can't go into that area because
and that is because from that direction, from the path we just walked, a vehicle came and took them out. I was like, this is the reason why I tell you, when you're in a parking lot, you're with me or mom, and your head is on a damn swivel. Because there is no point that you're safe in a parking lot. If anybody ever tells you this parking lot is safe, they are full of shit. Because heavy 2-3 ton vehicles are flying through this fucking place all the time.
Yeah.
And Granny might not mean to hit you, but random shit happens in vehicles. We've all dropped a drink on ourselves in the vehicle. We've all dropped shit in the vehicle. And before we thought about it, instantly turned to grab it.
Yeah.
Now that means you're not looking at where you're going. I might not mean to hit that person, but the shit can happen. So it's a two-way street. You need to be on a swivel. As like, and to further point out my point, this vehicle went into the store. People inside the building were hurt by this vehicle. So the first 20 or 30 feet inside the store isn't safe either. Head on a swivel until you're up in that store a good piece. And even then, you still need to keep your head on a swivel because people are people, and I don't trust them either.
I would say only time your kids technically are safe is when they're in your arms. That's it. You're in my arms, you're safe. You should be safe inside your house too, but let's be real here. There's been times people have gotten unsafe inside of someone's house too. So it does happen.
After that incident though, with the car, that little one has not left my side whenever we're in a parking lot. He's terrified. I was like, I tried to tell you. I warned you. I gave you plenty of warning. I tried to catch you before you ran off on my ass.
Okay, sort of a side topic real quick before, but I brought this up with my wife before. I still think, and people might, y'all might have a different opinion. I think if America would actually pick up Japan's train system, there would be a lot less troubles like that with vehicles. Just because only time they get really hit by cars, well, because they're bad drivers. The comedy, it's a joke, it's not serious, but like most people they do something, they jump in front of a train or get pushed in front of it. That's pretty bad. But I just feel like not everybody needs a vehicle. Not every single person. Not me, my wife, and then my niece and nephew and uncle and Tim and like everybody has a vehicle. Everybody has a vehicle. Like it's not just everybody uses one vehicle. It's everybody uses a vehicle. So that's everybody in America is pretty much over the age of 17 or 18 has a vehicle. That means a lot of people are on the road and a lot of people are not very smart. And people do stupid stuff or bad stuff all the time. Put them behind a 10-ton vehicle or 5-ton vehicle. Watch what happens.
I think, and this is me. Yes, it would be nicer if there weren't as many vehicles, but putting in a train system isn't going to resolve that issue because of the main fact is that everybody wants to be able to move at their pace at their time. I mean, that's what planes are for, technically. That's what cabs are for, and yet people still choose to drive their car.
You have me here so I can give counter arguments, right?
Yes, counter arguments, okay. Always.
So here's your counter argument. Okay, yeah, it'll cut down on the number of vehicles on the road. So your death toll to vehicles may go down.
Yes.
However, it may rise somewhere else.
True.
You stick a shitload of people in a tin can moving at high speeds, you have now created a situation where anybody that wants to be a terrorist can be a terrorist easily.
True. I just kind of wonder how the frick Japan does it. How do you prevent terrorists?
I don't know. My point is that yes, it would be nice. I would like to be able to like take a quick train to Orlando or some shit like that without having to drive my vehicle. Absolutely.
There's buses, there's planes.
Absolutely. I would love to do that, but at the same time, I also don't want to create a situation that makes it easier to destroy a shitload of people at one time.
Yeah. It's kind of like a plane, right? It's how many plane wrecks and how many car wrecks happen per year? It's like, well, many car wrecks, one plane wreck.
It's one of those things like you got to do a balancing thing because, like, yes, we don't have as many plane incidences, but when we do, think about the number of people that happen. It happens. It's bad. It's really fucking bad.
Large group.
So it's kind of like, okay, so we may save ourselves a couple of years worth of a high def pole in this area, and then just 1 year, boom, a shitload of people that could just took out, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like there is no purely safe environment. I have this argument with people all the time. They talk about weapons control, they talk about vehicle control, they talk about internet control. The truth of the matter is, as long as people live on this planet, there is no 100% safe place. Because I can pick up this pencil on my desk and John Wick somebody. That's not a fucking weapon that I bought at a damn gun store.
True and real.
You know? I can go out there and pick up something in my yard, a heavy oak limb, and crack somebody over the head. There is no legitimate, truly safe place. All you can do is try to be as safe as you can where you are at the moment, and that's it.
It's another thing is the infrastructure. Is how much
Yeah.
it's going to cost to build the
That
train.
would be the biggest
How
problem.
much the prices are going to be to even get on the train.
Yeah,
And
America
how
was
bad
not
is it gonna
built off
cause,
trains.
Like, problems with, say, if it's a bullet train, we might reduce carbon emissions. Maybe.
I mean, you can go back and look at them at the U.S. history. How many fucking trains were robbed when we were running trains?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I mean, or
where we're at, for example, the amount of people that will. I'm not going to say I'm not guilty of it because of the fact that I look before I do it, but I am guilty of it too. When those things are down, crossing it, there are so many. I've seen people do it with the train coming. I'm like, nope, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
The train stopped? Okay, yeah, I might try that.
Yeah, Japan has so many tunnels. Like their whole infrastructure was built off for trains. Our infrastructure is not built for it. But if they were ever to build it, I would like you. I would be like, hey, I want to take a trip to go see my mom, but I don't want to carry. I don't want to drive my vehicle, drive late at night, drive late in the day. I don't want to worry about. Like, I just want to get on the train with my luggage and just go. And then when I go back home, just go.
All that being said, one of my dreams is to hop on a train and have like a 2 or 3 day train ride. I don't give a fuck where we're going. I just want to be on a train for an extended period and enjoy the scenery and shit. But that does not mean that while I'm on that train for those 3 or 4 days that I am not on a swivel because I don't trust anybody. I mean, I'm sorry, I just don't. I love all y'all, but I don't trust everybody. And you know, I trust me. I trust her. If I ever turned up dead there was no fight whatsoever, the only person that could pull that off would be her because I trust her implicitly.
They shot you with a sniper rifle or something.
Listen, I guarantee you, if I still have blood pumping, I'm writing something. There's gonna be some evidence left. You know, the only way.
You can't do that.
Well, then there's going to be evidence of violence then because they blowed my fucking brain out. I'm saying if somebody took me out,
people knowing that the other one's attacking.
What I'm saying is if somebody took me out and there was no clear and present evidence of a fight, a bullet, or anything like that, it can only be you because you're the only person I'd let close enough to me to do it.
Yeah, it's true.
Not necessarily because if they kill me before they get to do like food or something, technically speaking, if I'm missing, it can still lead to me, even though I didn't do it.
Listen, I'm going to tell you that if that was to happen, they would know you're missing because the world would be on fire. Because I would know you're missing inside of like 2 hours of that shit happening.
No, you're misunderstanding. They would poison the food. We would both be dead. They would take my body away to make it look like it was me.
How the hell they gonna poison the food? I'm the damn cook. I ain't eating shit that ain't prepared by one of the two of us.
But
take out.
Okay, then there's other people dying.
Anyways, so that's our opinions. That's our thoughts. Leave your thoughts down below. Would you like to see trains? TikTok is a good thing. Oh, you know, do you, what was the saying? I forgot the dang thing guys kept saying.
You know what I mean?
You know what I mean? What does that translate to you down below if you know what I mean? And as always, you have a good life if you know what I mean. You have a good day if you know what I mean. As always, have a good life if you know what I mean. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
if you don't know.
One.